Okay, guys, let's look at question 3. Based on source 3, which group was viewed as the main source of political corruption by progressives such as Robert La Follette Sr.? So you have A, immigrants, B, labor unions, C, corporations, and D, muckraking journalists. These should all be groups of people that you are familiar with. And you should have an idea based on, who these people are before you answer the question. So political corruption, you should know the answer just by the question and the options. But we're going to look at the source because it says to go to source 3. The source is an excerpt from What Will the Harvest Be? I highlighted for the sake of, or I put a box around for the sake of time, where it is shown who caused the corruption. So your first paragraph, there was a time in Wisconsin when the bosses and representatives of the railroads nominated the candidates for both parties. How? By intervening between the voter and the nomination and getting the delegates. So right there in your first paragraph, you have the answer. Who? The railroads, which was big corporations. It's also shown other times in the excerpt. This next one that I have a box around, it says when railroads ruled and ruled supreme, big corporation, they called the shots. And then again, I have a box around. It says that he secured the anti-pass law and thus did away with the common and wholesale bribery of public officials. So it was very common to have bribery and corruption. So when you look back at your choices, what was the main source of political corruption by progressives such as Mr. Robert? Your most obvious answer is C, corruption. Muckraking journalists. Journalists weren't really causes of corruption. They blew the whistle on a lot of corruption. They reported it. A, immigrants. These were mostly people that were just here trying to survive. They were living very hard lives. And then B, labor unions. These were created to support people who were working under very difficult conditions, just to feed their families. So your obvious answer is C, corporations.